Hello everyone, welcome to the CSAT weekly session of LevelUp IAS. In today's session, we will do the remaining passages of CSAT 2020. So, as we know, firstly, we will discuss the level of difficulty of the examination and we will see what kind of passages were being asked in CSAT 2020, whether there was any kind of pattern change or not. Till now, we have observed that the pattern changes that are occurring is that in 2023, 2022, 2021. In 2023, a lot of individual questions were there. So you did not have many sets of reading comprehension. In this, reading comprehension sets were there. There were even questions with 2-3 questions. Okay, so one reading comprehension and 2-3 questions along with it. In 2023, we saw that the options, using options without even reading the passage, options se padh ke we could have eliminated the incorrect one. In 2022, you also saw that there were very short passages were also there, right? And then again in 2022, level of difficulty was easier. In 21 also we saw the same thing. Here also questions were mostly individual. There were only a few passages जिसमें कि 2 questions were there. ठीक है, ऐसे था. And then in 2021 also level of difficulty was same. Level of difficulty was same as 2022, right? But in 2023 it increased a little bit. See, now when you will ask students or whenever you will try to analyze the paper or review the paper, a lot of people will say in 2023 level of difficulty of reading comprehension was less, but it is not true. It's just that जो aptitude का level था, it was so high that हमने reading comprehension के level को analyze करने में we made this mistake that reading comprehension is easy. It was easier as compared to aptitude. But in general, if you will see 2022 का 21 का paper आप करोगे and you will see 23 के pattern change में, so you will see that the trend has been such कि इसमें भी level of difficulty has increased. One major factor of it, one major reason जिसकी वजह से हम देख सकते हैं clearly कि level of difficulty increase हुआ है, that यहाँ पर if you will read one passage, so there were passage कि आप एक passage पढ़ के you could have done 3 questions also, but यहाँ पर mostly questions were individual questions. ठीक है, maximum 1 to 2 questions were there जिसमें कि maximum 1 to 2 questions in one reading passage. ठीक है, not more than 2. So यहीं से पता चलता है कि यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन करने के लिए आपको एक नया रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन you will have to read. But in the previous years, you could have done 3 questions with the help of one reading comprehension. And you will also observe that length of the passages was also more and less. ठीक है, so these are also few observations that you should make, that now with change in your pattern of the examination, not only aptitude but in the English section also they are increasing the length of passages. See, passages are less confusing as before, but they are increasing the length. Time ज़्यादा consume होना is very natural because आपका reading में ही time ज़्यादा लग जाएगा. Then solving questions, that also takes time because each question has individual options and then set of questions from which you have to solve. Okay, so moving on to the first passage of CSAT 2020, we are analyzing the paper of CSAT 2020 and then we are also solving the passages. You can see in the first passage, length of passage is very normal. एक average length, in fact a very short passage, you can see 6 lines passage and then you have 4 options with it. Then passage number 2, this is also the same kind of passage, and again we discussed this in the previous session also. Sometimes you get a question like this, 1, 2, 3 and then which of the above assumptions are correct. यहाँ पर भी you have further options. ठीक है, so what happens is, although you will see that this takes time to read all the statements and understand, but this also gives you higher accuracy, because let's say you have eliminated option 3 कि 3 option नहीं हो सकता, assumption 3 नहीं हो सकता, that means B is gone, C is gone. अब आपको सिर्फ 1 के basis पर select करना है A and D में से, ठीक है? So this is one factor that in such questions, although question में पढ़ने में time लगता है, but accuracy is more. Then moving on to the next question, next passage. अच्छा, you will also see वहाँ पर भी one question with the passage, one question with the passage. Here also passage is very very small, short passage, but one question with it. ठीक है? Then you have passage 4. Now this passage is a little bit lengthy, and then you have I think we can say that this is the maximum length of passage that you could get. In the previous analysis also we have seen that maximum इतने length के passages you can get, and ये भी जो passage है, they are not very much in your examination. Only 2 to 3 passages are there जो कि lengthy है. Okay, then you have one question with it, and then you have passage 5 with, see, passage 5 is lengthy again, and then you have 2 questions with it. ठीक है? So that means even though ये passage lengthy है, but आप ये passage कर लोगे, 2 question भी solve हो जाएंगे. So ROI भी देखना है. चलो, so now we will start reading the passages and check the level of difficulty. Passage 1. Chalo, let's do by that approach. Options first and passage later. See, I've told you both the approaches work. What I usually follow personally is options first, passage later on. Okay? So, which one of the following is best implied in the passage? Strong measures need to be taken to reduce the rural to urban migration of labor. Okay. One more tip which I would like to give you is that when you are doing passages that involve reading, that involve your general GS studies, ठीक है? जैसे यहाँ पर rural से urban migration, आपने GS में भी पढ़ा है about migration. In such passages, first of all, 80% of the passages in UPSC are based on your GS preparation only. ठीक है? अब ये passages में whenever you select the option, mostly it is the most likely option जो कि आप in general भी अपने GS की studies में आप लिख सकते हो. ठीक है? In general also आप वो statement बोलोगे तो that is the correct statement. ठीक है? So strong measures need to be taken to reduce rural to urban migration of labor. Now, is it true in general? Do we say that yes, we need to take strong measures तो ताकि आप rural से urban migration reduce कर दो? We always say that आपको अपनी जो firstly आपको rural development करनी है, so that yes, अगर migration is a problem, then migration reduce ना हो, but उनको वहाँ पर भी वो facilities मिले, right? Then you have to upgrade your urban जो township planning and everything, so that again migration हो, so you can manage that migration, you can manage that amount of population. But we never say कि आप strong measures लो ताकि rural population कभी भी urban population में नहीं आ सके. We in fact say that rural areas को भी develop करो. ठीक है? So that is one thing. You cannot stop migration. You cannot take measures कि आप migration ही stop कर दो. ठीक है? You can make advancement in the other region, rural region में advancement कर सकते हो, या urban को you can make capable to handle that migration of population. But taking strong measures need to be taken to reduce urban to rural to urban migration of labor. So that is incorrect, right? In general also this is incorrect. Now option B is working condition in construction and unregistered manufacturing needs to be improved. Now this is in general also you will say that this is the right statement. वर्किंग कंडीशन जो कंस्ट्रक्शन और अनरजिस्टर्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नीड्स टू बी इम्प्रूव्ड. सी वर्किंग कंडीशन इम्प्रूव करना इज करेक्ट, बट कंस्ट्रक्शन में और अनरजिस्टर्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में विल यू गिव अ स्टेटमेंट लाइक दिस कि अनरजिस्टर्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, वहां पर वर्किंग कंडीशंस आप इम्प्रूव करो, राइट? बट देन अगेन वी विल सी वेदर this is something of this kind is mentioned in the passage or not. ठीक है? Option C, you have service sector has been reducing the problem of unemployment. Now this is in general, this can be true that service sector की वजह से unemployment की problem कम हो रही है, because see service sector is also employing some people, so yes it can be helping. ठीक है? Has been reducing the problem of unemployment. Again ये हमें we will have, जो ऑप्शन आपको फेवरेबल लग रहे हैं वो आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा कि ऑथर को भी is author making the same point of view or not. ठीक है? Increase social sector spending is imperative for large scale job creation. Now, if I was an aspirant, generally अगर हम GS की बात करें, I would have said that statement D is the statement that is the most relevant one. ठीक है? सर्विस सेक्टर जो है वो रिड्यूस कर रही है प्रॉब्लम, दैट इज फाइन. देन आई नो दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग मेजर्स नीड टू बी टेकन टू रिड्यूस लेबर की माइग्रेशन, नॉट एट ऑल. ठीक है? देन आई नो वर्किंग कंडीशन इन कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड अनरजिस्टर्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सीम्स काइंड ऑफ फिशी. ठीक है कि अनरजिस्टर्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की भी आप वर्किंग कंडीशन इंप्रूव करो, ये बोलना इज नॉट फेवरेबल. देन ऑप्शन डी इज सोशल सेक्टर में आप इंक्रीज करो स्पेंडिंग so that it is imperative for large scale job creation. अगर आप job creation करना चाहते हो then you have to increase your social sector spending. ठीक है? This option D is in general also. Even if you just stop the video, read the passages or read the option 1, you are a GS student. When you will read the option, you will observe that yes, in most of the cases, the option which we feel is the most favorable one in your in general life also is the correct option. ठीक है? So now we will go on and we will read the passage. Again, one more point. When we do this, obviously it takes more time because while I'm reading one option, I'm also explaining that option. I'm explaining why that option is correct or incorrect, or what my thought process is while reading one option. In exam, it does not take this much of time. ठीक है? तो ऐसा मत सोचना कि ऑप्शन पढ़ने वाली अप्रोच में बहुत टाइम लगता है. It is not like that. So, in India, over the last decade or so, labor has been departing agriculture. But तो क्या हो रहा है? Labor जो है has been departing agriculture से labor जो है it is departing, but is not only going to construction and unregistered manufacturing, which are not markedly better jobs. Markedly means clearly, ठीक है? But is only going to construction and unregistered manufacturing. ठीक है? तो लेबर जो है एग्रीकल्चर से तो निकल रही है. वी नो दैट एग्रीकल्चर में देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ हिडन लेबर एंड एवरीथिंग, तो वहां पर इट इज नॉट दैट यूजफुल. ठीक है? एंड वी नो दैट वी राइट नाउ वी नीड स्किल्ड लेबर, वी नीड लेबर दैट इज स्किल्ड इन टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज ऑल्सो. ठीक है? सो वी नो दैट दिस इज अ गुड थिंग दैट दे आर शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चर. टिल सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इट इज अ गुड थिंग, बट वो शिफ्ट होकर भी कहाँ जा रहे हैं? दे आर गोइंग टू construction and unregistered manufacturing, which is clearly not the better option. अगर वो labor educated होके skilled होकर would have gone to some other work, we would have said yes, this is what progress is. कि आप पहले एक agricultural field में काम कर रहे हो जहाँ पर it is not even, your job is not even that much required. ठीक है? ठीक है? But now you are working as a skilled employee. You are adding more to the GDP than you could have done in the agricultural field. ठीक है? Services where labor tends to be most productive are not generating additional jobs the country needs. So, service sector has been reducing the problem of unemployment. Incorrect. Question author का opinion क्या है? Services where labor tends to be most productive, are not generating additional jobs the country needs. India will need 24 million or so jobs over the next decade. The new sector, e-commerce, can at best close only half the jobs gap. Only those sectors that drive domestic demands, such as health and education, can comfortably fill the other half. So हम क्या बोल रहे हैं, जो e-commerce new sector है, can at best close only half the jobs gap. तो जो सबसे पहले जो e-commerce sector है, half job gaps तो वही close करेगा. Apart from that, health and education जो है, it can comfortably fill the other half. So again, e-commerce, health, education, ये सब क्या है? Social sector spending. Increase social sector spending is imperative for large scale job creation. Option D will be your answer, right? Again, as I said, that if you read the options first, तो आपके लिए बहुत easy हो जाएगा, because some options will be easily eliminated. Now, passage 2. In India, current focus on the right to privacy. Okay, so this passage is somewhat related to what right to privacy and everything. On the basis of the above passage, following assumptions have been made. States should have some institutions to ensure its appropriate role in a digital society. So in general, my personal opinion is that this can be the correct answer, that yes, state should have some institutions so that to ensure its appropriate role. अब ये नहीं देखो, ये ऑप्शन इतना एक्सट्रीम नहीं है कि स्टेट शुड टेक कंप्लीट कंट्रोल ओवर डिजिटल सोसाइटी. नो, एक इंस्टीट्यूट शुड हैव सम इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो कि कंट्रोल करेंगे, ताकि जो सोसाइटी है अप्रोप्रिएट, वो भी कंट्रोल आल्सो इन अप्रोप्रिएट वे. सो यस, गवर्नमेंट का भी कुछ कंट्रोल होना चाहिए, so that when people who are violating some of right to privacy or any digital rights or anything else, they should be held accountable. वो कौन accountable held करेगा? Only government can do that. ठीक है? So that thing. Next is, state should ensure that private parties do not violate the citizens' right to privacy. In general, कितनी basic और general statement है कि yes, जो government है उनको ensure करना चाहिए. Government is a public party. स्टेट जो है उसको इंश्योर करना चाहिए कि प्राइवेट पार्टी जो है वो डू नॉट वायलेट द सिटीजंस राइट टू प्राइवेसी. दिस इज आल्सो करेक्ट. डिजिटल इकोनॉमी इज नॉट कंपैटिबल विद द आइडिया ऑफ नॉट वायलेटिंग सिटीजंस प्राइवेसी. नाउ सबसे पहली बात तो वी नो 1 2 3 1 3 2 ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. 1 2 3 वाला ऑप्शन ही नहीं है कि 1 2 3 ऑल आर करेक्ट. This is not an option. So I know that 1 and 2 are seemingly correct. I know 2 to 100%, 2 should be correct. So either option A or option D should be your answer. ठीक है? So यहाँ से भी आप 3 को eliminate, you can eliminate 3 from here. थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में भी use logical reasoning, use common sense, use tricks of GS. जो ऑप्शन एलिमिनेशन की GS में ट्रिक्स यूज करते हैं ना, वो इंग्लिश में भी यूज करो. ठीक है? So I know that 2 should be my answer, should be in my answer. That means answer can be either A or D. First point A. Secondly, अगर आप 3 को in general भी पढ़ो, digital economy is not compatible with the idea of not violating citizens' privacy. मतलब digital economy आप लाओगे तो privacy violate होगी ही. Is this a right statement to make? In general also this is incorrect, because why not? There are ways to prevent your right to privacy. Digital economy है तो भी if everyone is ethical, nobody is violating anybody else's right, तो आपके rights तो saved है ना, right? So digital economy is compatible. It's just that people are choosing to do some illegal things or some things which are crossing the boundaries of privacy of other people, which we do not have to do, right? So it's not that digital economy compatible ही नहीं है with that. Now, so according to me, option A, 1 and 2 should be my answer. But then again, let's read the passage first. In India, current focus on the right to privacy is based on some new realities of the digital age. Okay, तो अब जो राइट टू प्राइवेसी पे फोकस है सिर्फ पहले जैसा नहीं है, नाउ इट इज बेस्ड ऑन डिजिटल एज ऑल्सो. A right is a substantiative right only if it works in all situations and for everyone. So अगर आप right to privacy बोल रहे हो but it is not working for you digitally, आप बोल रहे हो that this is my right to privacy, I will not show my documents, okay, but in person you are saying I will not show my documents. Online somebody is searching and they are hacking your account and they can see your documents, they can see your chats. You are saying that I will not show my WhatsApp chat, it is my personal chat, I have right to privacy. But what somebody is hacking and somebody WhatsApp में encryption नहीं है, so somebody is able to read your chat. That is not right to privacy because आप एक तरफ से आप you are reducing that, but आप safe थोड़ी हो वहां से. So उस passage में यही बात है कि a right is substantiative right only if it works in first of all situations. And then for everyone, it is not that some people are getting that privacy whereas you are not. Okay, a right to free expression for an individual about her exploitation, for instance, is meaningless without actual availability of security that guarantees that private force cannot be used to thwart this right. ठीक है, तो जो free expression for an individual about her exploitation, you are saying that you are free to express that your rights have been violated or your rights have been exploited, ठीक है, but even if I express that my rights have been exploited and then there is no action, what is the point of it then? You are just saying आप बोल दो कि हमारा तो right exploit हुआ है, I am not getting right to privacy, but उसके against कोई action ही नहीं होगा, then what is the use of it? ठीक है, so that is also meaningless without actual availability of security कि हाँ अगर आपका right violate हुआ है then this will be the action taken or that person will be held accountable. Okay, then role of state therefore is not just to abstain from preventing rightful free expression but also to actively ensure. सिर्फ ये रोल स्टेट का रोल सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि अगर कोई अपने आप को somebody is expressing that yes this is my right that has been violated, स्टेट का रोल ये नहीं है कि आप उनको वो प्लेटफॉर्म दो कि वो एक्सप्रेस कर पाए, बट along with that रोल ये भी है कि अगर कुछ हुआ है तो एक्टिवली इंश्योर करें दैट एक्शन हैज बीन टेकन फॉर दैट पर्सन. ठीक है, प्राइवेट पार्टीज आर नॉट एबल टू ब्लॉक इट. ओके, सो अगेन यू कैन सी जो हमने पहले कंक्लूड किया था ऑप्शन 1 and 2, ये तो बोला ही नहीं. डिजिटल इकोनॉमी इज नॉट कंपैटिबल विद द आइडिया, इसके बारे में बात ही नहीं की. we said state should have some institutions, हाँ because active participation करनी है ना to ensure appropriate role. Yes, state should ensure private parties do not violate citizens right to privacy. Yes, option 1 and 2, this is your answer. In a lot of cases this method works like a charm. You can easily solve your question. At least when you read the options first you know कि आपको passage में ढूंढना क्या है. ठीक है, so see imagine I'm not giving you the question, I'm not telling you the option. ठीक है, आप passage पढ़ रहे हो but you will not pay attention to the points that have been further asked. But once when you are reading the question first तो आपको पता है कि आपने state के role के बारे में पढ़ना है. In the passage you have to see whether the author is talking about state's role or not. जैसे in the very first passage we saw that author statement में क्या था, in the option statement was service sector is helping to reduce unemployment, but author का opinion क्या था कि service sector से भी कम नहीं हो रही unemployment, it is not being able to generate so much jobs, right? So that was the point of view of author. So हमें पता option पढ़ने से हमें पता चला कि passage में author का service sector का point of view ढूंढना है कि what is the author's point of view regarding service sector, right? ये कैसे पता चला कि service sector पे emphasis पे करना है while reading the passage? Because आप options पहले ही पढ़ चुके हो. Okay, which one of the following is the most logical and rational inference that can be made from the above passage. Rivers and other wetlands should be protected under Ramsar Convention. Okay, so which of the following most logical and rational inference that can be made from the above passage? Okay, river and the other wetlands should be protected under Ramsar Convention. So, okay, chalo. Next option is engineering water systems should be modernized and further augmented. Okay, then see again, water system should be modernized and further augmented. It might be possible. It might be possible that the author is saying that under Ramsar Convention इनको protection में भी लाओ. But wetlands need to be enforced. Wetland needs to be reinforced as more than just open sources of water. Okay. That see, अब क्या है? सारे options में different point of view है. सारे option में different theme है. Different बात की गई है. इसमें बोल रहे रिवर और वेटलैंड, इसमें क्या बात है? About highlight the keywords. This is also one thing. See, highlight the keywords. In this, we are talking about protection. Engineering water system should be modernized. In this, we are talking about modernization of water system. ठीक है? Wetlands need to be reinforced as more than just open sources of water. Wetlands more than water. ठीक है? Wetlands सिर्फ water के sources नहीं है. Water को they are additional. They are supporting additional things as well. Water supply should not be free of cost as to prevent its misuse or overuse. मतलब cost का. All four passages, all four options are telling me a different story. अब हम क्या करेंगे? We will read the passage and we will see which option is the one which is supporting the passage idea. ठीक है? So, one of the biggest ironies around water is that it comes from rivers and other wetlands. Yet, it is seen as divorced from them. While water is used as a resource, public policy does not always grasp that it is a part of natural ecosystem. Efforts at engineering water systems are thus effort at augmenting water supply rather than strengthening the capacities of ecological systems. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are saying सबसे पहले author का point of view क्या है? Efforts at engineering water system are thus effort at augmenting water supply. आप जब when we say कि water system पे efforts करो तो आप water की supply पे efforts करने लग जाते हो rather than capacity of ecological system. Okay, so first of all, river and other wetlands should be protected under Ramsar Convention. No, इसके बारे में तो कोई बात ही नहीं. We are not saying that they should be under Ramsar Convention or anything. Engineering water systems should be modernized and further augmented. Again, we are already saying that efforts at engineering water system are thus efforts at augmenting water supply rather than strengthening capacity of ecological system. तो जब आप engineering और water system के बारे में we are talking about, we want to strengthen the capacity of ecological system. तो ये तो this is opposite of what we are opposite or not relevant to what we are saying. हम ऑलरेडी ऑथर बोल रहे हैं कि इंजीनियरिंग और वाटर सिस्टम में आप क्या करते हो? वाटर सप्लाई पे ध्यान देते हो रादर देन वाटर जहां से कैपेसिटी ऑफ इकोलॉजिकल सिस्टम है इन पे इंक्रीज करने की. तो इनकी कैपेसिटीज इंक्रीज करो, राइट? एंड then you have wetlands need to be reinforced as more than just open sources of water. We will talk about this. Moving on to option D, water supply should not be free of cost. ऐसी भी कोई बात नहीं की. So I have concluded that option C is my answer, but this I have concluded using option elimination. Now we will see why this is suitable answer. Wetlands need to be reinforced. Wetlands need to be reinforced as more than just open sources of water. ठीक है? अब आप देखो, from the very beginning, one of the biggest ironies around water is that it comes from rivers and other wetlands. Water, river और wetland से आता है. yet तब भी it is seen as divorced from them. तब भी we do not see them connected to rivers and we do not see water connected to them. Water wet, आप जब wetland और rivers की बात करते हो, ठीक है, so we see that water, this is the biggest irony कि water आता तो river और wetland से है, but हम उनको when we think about water and water conservation and everything, we don't think about wetlands, we don't think about कि rivers को protect करने कि वहां से आ रहा है, या when we think about, आपको water में अभी in the next one only we read कि you have to make engineer, you have to डेवलप टेक्नोलॉजी, तो आप वाटर की सप्लाई पे टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में सोचोगे, यू विल नॉट थिंक कि डेवलप टेक्नोलॉजी सो दैट जहां से वाटर आ रहा है, रिवर से, वेटलैंड से, दे आर द सोर्सेज, वहां पर यू डेवलप टेक्नोलॉजीज टू हेल्प दैट एरियाज, ठीक है. सो व्हाइल वाटर इज यूज्ड एज अ रिसोर्स, public policy does not always grasp that it is a part of natural ecosystem. So water सिर्फ एक रिसोर्स नहीं है, although we use it as a resource, but वो natural ecosystem का भी part है. It is not divorced from river and wetlands. When you have to think about water conservation या water technology to help it, supply it, whatever, आप वाटर के किसी भी एस्पेक्ट में अगर सोचोगे, यू विल हैव टू कनेक्ट इट टू रिवर एंड वेटलैंड्स आल्सो, बिकॉज वो वहां से आ रहा है, ठीक है. एफर्ट्स एट, अगेन, हम जब भी एफर्ट्स करते हैं एट इंजीनियरिंग वाटर सिस्टम, वो सारे किस पे होते हैं? वाटर सप्लाई, कि यहाँ पर भी वाटर सप्लाई हो, इधर भी हो, बट जहां से वाटर जनरेट हो रहा है वहां पर भी तो यू नीड टू अप्लाई एफर्ट्स रादर देन स्ट्रेंथनिंग कैपेसिटी ऑफ इकोलॉजिकल सिस्टम. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, ये रिवर, वेटलैंड्स जो इकोलॉजिकल सिस्टम है, इनकी कैपेसिटी को स्ट्रेंथन करना है. देन नाउ यू रीड ऑप्शन सी, wetlands need to be reinforced as more than just open sources of water. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ बस wetlands हैं, they are supplying water and that's it. No, they are a part of this ecological system. ठीक है, so you have to reinforce it like that. Okay, once you do using option elimination, you will even be able to make sense of the answer that you are coming. Concluding 2. Chalo. Passage 4. In this passage, you have asset allocation is the most important investment decision which we will ever make, and sadly, most of us do not give that much importance it deserves. Chalo. Asset allocation की बात हो रही है. Which of the following statements best implies the suggestion given by author of the passage? Distribute your wealth across different kind of assets so that your risk would be minimized. Now, in general, is this correct? In general also we say do not put all your eggs in one basket. ठीक है, assets को अलग अलग जगह distribute करो. asset distribution की बात हो रही है, distribute them in across different kinds of assets such that risk जो हो वो minimize हो. In general this is correct, but we will see about the other options also. Risk-taking behavior should be a necessary component of your personality if you want to generate wealth. Very, very extreme statement. कि अगर आपको generate करनी है wealth, risk-taking behavior होना ही चाहिए. It should be a necessary component. Nothing like that. Nothing of that sort. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. There are people who are not taking risk and they are generating wealth. It's not that they are not generating wealth at all. Obviously, with more risk comes more reward. But that does not mean कि आपका risk-taking behavior नहीं होगा तो आप wealth ही generate नहीं कर सकते. While making investments, find a trustworthy asset management organization which would manage your wealth for you. Now again, this can be our answer. Okay, कि this is a favorable option कि जब आप investment कर रहे हो, asset management, trustworthy asset management organization you find which can manage your wealth for you. ठीक है, this can be one of the options. You should know that investing your money is a risky business. Again, ये भी हो सकता है. You should know. Obviously, आप invest कर रहे हो. Investments are prone to risk also. So it is a risky business. You should know. But best implies the suggestion given by author. So again, one more thing, that author is giving a suggestion. ठीक है, तो वो क्या suggestion दे रहा है? This we have to talk about. अब देखो, again, marking keywords, distribute wealth. ठीक है, wealth की distribution. Option B तो हो ही नहीं सकता आंसर. While making investment, trustworthy management organization. ठीक है, asset management organization find करो. Investing your money is a risky business. ये you should know कि इस चीज की knowledge होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, so all three options give me different keywords. Now, passage. Asset allocation is the most important investment decision we will ever make, and sadly, most of us do not give that decision the importance it deserves. We are adamant about seeking predictability with our future. ठीक है, हम क्या है, predictability seek करते हैं with our future. We tend to think of investing in risky assets as extremely volatile and value eroding. So we think that अगर इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं हम रिस्की एसेट्स में तो वो वॉलेटाइल है एंड वैल्यू इरोड भी हो सकती है. ऑब्वियसली यू कैन फेस अ, जितना बड़ा रिस्क होगा उतना बड़ा लॉस भी हो सकता है, राइट? we also dislike fluctuating returns and the loss of control of investments. We think our money is best left idle, unproductive but safe. So unproductive रहे, कुछ काम का नहीं भी आ रहा है तो बट सेफ रहे, लॉस ना हो. There is no asset that is risk-free. We could lose our jobs, our homes can lose values, our banks can go bankrupt, our bonds can default, government can collapse, and companies we chose fondly may cease to exist. So, what is the author saying? That आप रख तो रहे हो वो amount of money with you only, but if you are so afraid, any asset, you are so afraid, author is trying to say कि कोई भी asset जो है, it is a risky business. Even if you're saying आप job कर रहे हो, ठीक है, तो you can lose your job at any point of time. ठीक है, your home, you can lose your home at any point of time. जो आपने बोला कि okay, मैं कहीं invest नहीं कर रहा, I'm just keeping my money safe in my bank account. Your bank could go bankrupt. ठीक है, so even that is not safe. Safe तो कुछ भी नहीं है. अगर if you are so scared of risk, then there is nothing safe. ठीक है. Then you have, but we cannot live life assuming that all these extreme events are waiting to happen and all at the same time. All these extreme forms of risk we know will not manifest at the same time. अब आप देखो, ऑथर ने सबसे पहले क्या बोला? ऑथर सेड एसेट एलोकेशन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन है, बट हम इसको इतनी इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देते. हम प्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी सीख करते हैं. वी वांट श्योरिटी कि हाँ ये होगा, इतने रिटर्न मिलेगा. दैट्स व्हाई वी आल्सो लाइक और वी डिसलाइक फ्लक्चुएटिंग रिटर्न्स. हम क्या करते हैं, मनी बेस्ट लेफ्ट आइडल, इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं करते. वी डोंट इन्वेस्ट मनी. ठीक है, बट फिर नो एसेट दैट इज रिस्क फ्री. आप रिस्क फ्री तो कहीं पे भी नहीं हो, जॉब पे भी नहीं हो, घर पे भी नहीं हो, बैंक अकाउंट में भी आप रिस्क फ्री नहीं हो. ठीक है, सो व्हाई, तो अब उसके बाद इसको to make us feel कि why we should invest, what is the author saying? कि हम ये assume नहीं कर सकते कि all these extreme events are waiting to happen and all at the same time. Let's say that आपने अपना, you have invested in your home, you have invested in some bank, you have invested some of it in a bank and you have kept your money safe and everything. Let's say you lost your home, but you still have money in your bank account. तो आप losing your home is an extreme event. ठीक है, बट आप ये थोड़ी assume करके चल सकते हो कि लाइफ में एक पॉइंट आएगा जब उसी दिन जॉब भी चली गई, घर भी चला गया, बैंक अकाउंट भी चला गया, बैंक गॉट बैंकरप्ट. ठीक है, so these are all extreme events. You cannot think that all of them will happen to you at the same point of time, right? So what is the author trying to say? That different assets होते हैं. उससे ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अपने जो मनी है उसको रख के बैठ जाओ. You distribute them, you divide it in different ways so that कहीं से risk reduction कम हो. ठीक है, so again, if you would have understood the passage, you could have easily said that option A is the right one. But even if you cannot conclude, we'll eliminate the others. Then, while making investments, find a trustworthy asset management organization. Now, author has not said find a trustworthy organization. ऐसा organization या something like that author का opinion ही नहीं है. Author has not talked about it. ठीक है. Then risk-taking behavior should be necessary component of your personality. We already eliminated option B. Now, A and D. You should know that investing your money is a risky business. Yes, you should know. ये तो already पता है. First point, we already know this. Author तो बोल ही रहा है कि people know कि इतना risky है. That is why they don't even invest. ठीक है. And then question क्या है? Suggestion given by the author. क्या ऑथर ने ये सजेशन दिया है कि यू शुड नो कि ये तो रिस्की बिजनेस है? ऑथर इज एनीवे सेइंग दैट यस पीपल थिंक कि ये भी रिस्की है, ये भी रिस्की है, ये भी रिस्की है, तो हम इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं करेंगे. ओके, तो पीपल ऑलरेडी, ऑथर ऑलरेडी नोज दैट पीपल आर अवेयर ऑफ द रिस्क ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाई दे आर नॉट इन्वेस्टिंग. यही तो ऑथर की मेन प्रॉब्लम है. ठीक है, ऑथर को मेन प्रॉब्लम ही इसी चीज से है कि पीपल थिंक इतना रिस्क है तो वी विल नॉट इन्वेस्ट, बट ऑथर वांट्स दैट यू शुड मेक अ साउंड डिसीजन रिगार्डिंग दिस. So, this is not a suggestion that the author is making. ये statement correct है that you should know. But ये author का ना point of view है, ना वो ये statement बोल रहा है, and author already assume करके चल रहा है कि people know and people also because of this people are not investing. This is the problem to the author. Okay, so even by option elimination you could have done option A will be your answer. Now, next passage, that is passage 5. Now, all the most of the genetically modified crops. ठीक है, चलो GM crops के बारे में बात हो रही है, biotechnology वगैरह. There are a few words related to it. With reference to the above passage, following assumptions have been made. Now, again, options like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Biotechnology regulation is an evolving process. In general also very correct statement. Evolving process है. Biotechnology की regulation करना, earlier we could not have regulated, earlier we could not have developed and regulated it. अब हम थोड़ा थोड़ा करके उसको regulate भी कर रहे हैं. We are making more progress in the development also. ठीक है, so yes, it is an evolving process. Participation of people is needed in policy decisions regarding biotechnology regulation. So participation of people is needed in policy decision regarding biotechnology regulation. See, अब ये भी एक बहुत जनरल स्टेटमेंट है. पॉलिसीज में ऑफ कोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ पीपल इज नीडेड. व्हेन वी आर फॉर्मिंग अ पॉलिसी, तो आप डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट क्या है? पीपल्स पार्टिसिपेशन, बाय द पीपल. ठीक है, फॉर द पीपल. तो पॉलिसीज कौन फॉर्म कर रहा है? बाय द पीपल. तो पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ पीपल इज नीडेड. यस, इट इज नीडेड. इवन व्हेन फॉर्मिंग अ पॉलिसी, द गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू नो कि पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या है ऑफ द पीपल, राइट? रिगार्डिंग बायोटेक्नोलॉजी रेगुलेशन. Biotechnology regulation should take into account socio-economic aspects in decision making. Okay, so biotechnology regulation के उसमें while doing that we should take socio-economic aspects in decision making. Again, this also seems correct. So we will see whether in the passage this is supportive or not. Then you have wider involvement of political executive in biotechnology regulation improved its effectiveness in dealing with countries' trade policy and international obligation. So, political executive का involvement biotechnology regulation में improved its effectiveness in dealing with countries' trade policies and international obligations. Obviously, this again seems correct because why? जब political executive यहाँ पर involve हो जाएंगे, तो ट्रेड पॉलिसीज बनने में ऑब्वियसली पॉलिसीज विल बी मोर इफेक्टिव. ठीक है, एंड इंटरनेशनल ऑब्लिगेशंस अगेन बिकॉज पॉलिटिकल एग्जीक्यूटिव हैव बीन इन्वॉल्वड. सो ऑल फोर seem correct, but then we will read the passage and see. You have first, okay, although most of the GM crops cultivated now are genetically engineered for a single trait, in future Crops genetically engineered for more than one trait will be the norm. Thus, biotechnology's role in agriculture and regulation of the same cannot be generation of GM crops. So, biotechnology का role in agriculture and regulation of the same cannot be generation of GM crops. Instead, there is a need to take comprehensive look, taking into account various aspects, including socio-economic impacts, so that the potential of the technology can be harnessed while minimizing negative impacts. ठीक है? So that potential of technology can also be harnessed while minimizing negative impacts. Given the importance of biotechnology in developing varieties that can help in climate change, mitigation and adaptation, not see तो biotechnology का यहाँ पर भी use करो ताकि आप climate change, mitigation, adaptation में not using biotechnology as a part of climate change action plan cannot be an option. So use biotechnology in other areas as well. Domestic regulation of biotechnology cannot be viewed in isolation of trade policy. So, and obligations under various international treaties and conventions. So, domestic regulation जो है biotechnology का आप उसको एक isolation में नहीं ले सकते. Trade policy and obligation under various international treaties. You have to consider this also. Okay. So, now moving on to the question again. Earlier we were thinking that all the options are correct because in general all options seemed correct. But now, see, biotechnology regulation is an evolving process. Yes, it is an evolving process. We have already seen how आप पहले when we were talking that biotechnology का इतना use नहीं हो पा रहा. We are only using in GM crops. Now we want to use it in climate change also. So yes, it is an evolving process. Next, we are talking about how participation of people is needed in policy decisions regarding biotechnology regulation. Have we talked about it? Have we said how participation of people is needed? हम हर जगह थी. But the first line of the passage was how biotechnology is not only for GM crops. It can also be used for other things. Then we talked about again policy making in case of biotechnology. But participation of people की कोई बात ही नहीं की. Biotechnology regulation should take into account socio-economic aspects in decision making. Again, ये तो बिल्कुल clearly stated था that you should take socio-economic aspects in decision making. And then option 4, wider involvement of political executive in biotechnology regulation already improved its effectiveness in dealing with countries' trade policies and international obligations. Improve हुआ नहीं है. This was the point of view of author कि wider involvement होनी चाहिए. आप अब इसको बायोटेक्नोलॉजी को आप सिर्फ exclusively नहीं ले सकते. You have to include trade policies and outer जो भी है ये सब and international obligations also. This was the point of view. Assumption में क्या है कि wider involvement की already improved its effectiveness. No, अभी तक improve हुआ नहीं है. So that was the point of view. So only 1 and 3 is your answer. Till now we have done so many passages. This is the one passage where we encountered that all 4 statements seemed correct. But when you read the passage, author का point of view समझोगे, you will understand that these 2 statements are not even are not being talked about. Author has no point of view regarding them. Which one of the following statement best implies the crux of the passage? Precautionary principle is not given importance in current debate on developing GM crops. Biotechnology is not currently used in climate change mitigation and adaptation mechanism. Biotechnology's role is not confined to current priorities of developing GM crops, or negative impacts of biotechnology are not properly understood. See, now again in this question, first option क्या है? Precautionary principle is not given importance in current debate on developing GM crops. ठीक है, so again हमने इस बारे में discussion किया है in the very first line that बायोटेक्नोलॉजी रोल इन एग्रीकल्चर एंड रेगुलेशन. अभी तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? मोस्ट ऑफ द GM क्रॉप्स आर नाउ जेनेटिकली इंजीनियर्ड फॉर अ सिंगल ट्रेड. फ्यूचर में क्या होगा? मोर देन वन ट्रेड. Thus, more than one trait will be the norm. Thus, biotechnology's role in agriculture and regulation of same cannot be generation of GM crops. Instead, आपको ये you have to, you should do this, you should do that. ठीक है? So already we are saying that yes, आप single trait पे कर रहे थे. अब we are moving on to dual traits also, and you have to have various regulationary process for it. So precautionary principle is not given importance in the current debate on developing GM crops. Crux of the passage ये नहीं है. Crux of the passage is not कि आप GM crops पे you are not taking any precautions to control it. ठीक है? Crux of the passage क्या था? Biotechnology का further use करो. ठीक है? Biotechnology is not currently used in climate change mitigation and adaptation. Again, crux of the passage ये नहीं है कि biotechnology is not currently used. Crux क्या है? In general also if you think about it, crux of the passage is that biotechnology आप use नहीं कर रहे in other fields. अभी तक हम biotechnology का use कहाँ करें? सिर्फ one way में making GM crops of single trait. ठीक है? So there are other fields also where you can do this. Then option C क्या है? Biotechnology's role is not confined to current priorities of developing GM crops. See, even if you read the options, you can see that C is the most favorable one. ठीक है, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का रोल जो है वो confined नहीं है to current priorities of developing GM crops. There are other things as well. And option D, negative impacts of biotechnology are not properly understood. So, although this is also correct कि हमें अभी तक we are not understanding negative impacts of biotechnology properly. जब वो टेक्नोलॉजी ही नहीं डेवलप हुई उसके नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट्स अभी कैसे पता चलेंगे? Similar to AI, so many negative impacts we don't even know, right? But this is not the crux of the passage. Author is not talking about negative impacts of it. Author is talking about only that biotechnology ke there are so many uses, and then we are just right now we are just restricting it to GM crops of one type, but aage there are a lot of fields where you can use it, right? So this was it for your CSAT 2020 second video, and in the next video we will continue with further more passages of 2020 paper only. I hope that you are understanding the passages, you are grasping the approach, and if you have any doubts, feel free to ask. I will see you in the next session. Thank you so much for watching.